Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start the truck up, pull it forward. I'm getting ready to flush out the coolant system, so I'm going to have that outside the shop to do that. Okay, you probably saw or heard right there a little bit of the drivability issues. Kind of picks up and all of a sudden something will kick off and it'll just really just die and not run at all. So that's what I'll be going into after I get the coolant system flushed out. All right, water hose is out. That's draining, and you should have a container to catch that and dispose of it properly. Just a disclaimer there. But I got the radiator draining. Right now I'll need to do something on the engine block side. So that means I'll probably need to come down here, this lower radiator hose, unhook that from the engine. That way I can flush the engine itself and the radiator. But before I really get into that, I'm going to let the sun go around the shop because that's west, so I'm not just standing in the sun doing this. Okay, set up the flushed block side. I mean, the radiator side's pretty simple. So I've unhooked this heater hose from there, and I've sprayed water in through there and just kept draining it. And I look down where the water's coming out from the lower radiator hose. I have the lower radiator hose off. We're all buried. But anyways, it's down in there, and I just watched that water until it became clear. And then same thing, I got a piece of heater hose and hooked up to there and just sprayed water in there and just kept watching it until the water got clear. So the block is now flushed. I didn't get that much rust out of the block, but I had a bunch in the radiator. It took a little while for it to get clear there. So anyways, put it back together, and that's an engine flush. All right, this is how to check some of your vacuum solenoids. These are the the maculator air solenoid things right here, and this is the EGR solenoid right there. So what I have hooked up is my brake bleeder, vacuum brake bleeder, has a gauge on it, and I have a regular vacuum gauge over here, right? So the bottom one right here should hold vacuum without the solenoid on. This one does a good job. This one over here is getting a little weak. The EGR one just straight leaks, so that valve needs replaced. So this here, whenever you turn the solenoid on, you should be able to pull vacuum through the system and get a vacuum on this gauge and hold it. So you got two connectors in there. It's the little bitty baby spade connectors. So what I did, on one side I hooked to the ground on the battery, and the other one I went in and tapped it to see if its solenoid was turning on or not. If it's not right, just flip them, right? So I turned that on, held that in one hand, then pulled up my vacuum gauge in the other hand and watched it. See how that one leaks right there when it shouldn't be leaking. So like I said, both those need to be replaced. But you should be able to hold vacuum with a solenoid turned on. That's how you know these are good or bad right there. Okay, take two on this because it recorded the wrong screen. I do that like every time. So anyways, got some parts. Got the window crank handle, distributor camp with brass contacts on there. AC just kicked on, so we're probably going to pick up that noise. Sneaking in some ram charger headlight adjusting screws. Got the coil connector, EGR gasket right there. Spark plugs, really big spark plugs, giant spark plugs. Spark plug wires, just a standard motor product stuff. Stock replacement. And I got these gaskets. So this is the plenum gasket, since I'm pulling that plenum off to check a couple things down there. Throttle body gasket, the idle air motor gasket. They got two for some reason, and then an O-ring, and I guess I'll figure out where that goes. So that puts our cost to about $90, taking that $3.14 off for the ram charger stuff right there. That comes out about right. It's a nice number to go with, right? So we'll see what we get with that.